Shelley Carney and Toby Eunice bring you New Mexico day trips. Visit national parks, monuments, state parks, and historical sites. See the amazing and unique desert vistas of the Land of Enchantment and walk through the visitor centers, museums, and Pueblo ruins with us. Enjoy the sights, sounds, and flavors of New Mexico. Let's have an adventure. Hello, and welcome to New Mexico Day Trips. I'm Shelley Carney.
And I'm Toby Eunice. Thanks for joining us tonight, brothers and sisters.
Tonight, we're going to be talking about our trip to El Malpais in the area of Grants, New Mexico.
You don't have anything else to say about it?
No, we'll get to it.
All right. Well, let me do this while you're thinking about what to get to. Well,
anything I say, you just repeat in your own words anyways.
I promised myself I was going to do the Eunice repeat tonight.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see
let's
how
see
that
goes. First of all, I would appreciate it before you leave tonight's live stream. You like our video. YouTube likes it when you like our video. Share with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your business associates, the entirety of your social network so that we can continue to grow the channel. Finally, if you are not already a subscriber, this would be the ideal time to click on that subscribe button. When you see the notifications bell, ring that notification bell, and every time we start a live stream, you will be immediately informed. And as a result, just like my friend here.
In the know.
In the know, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing better in life than being in the know. I would tell them the part about Super Chat light is lit, but
that doesn't apply.
Doesn't apply.
Yet, but we are growing in subscribers, and we hope to continue to grow. So thank you to all of our new subscribers who joined us in the last couple of weeks, and to all of our very loyal subscribers who've been with us since the beginning. We're up to 85, and we hope to hit 25,000 sometime this year. So give us a little push up that ladder by sharing our channel with your family and friends and anybody who wants to know more about New Mexico, the Land of Enchantment.
The Land of Enchantment.
That's right. Where you will soon have a vlog out. In fact, we're working on that earlier today. We were working on getting our blog put together, so we would have that to share with everybody. Hello to Colorado Memorial Finishing LLC and Mary Green.
Mary Green's in the room?
That's right. So we went to visit Grants, New Mexico a couple of weeks ago, and there's a lot to see there. We started off at the New Mexico Mining Museum, which is what we talked about last week. And then this week, we'll be telling you about the additional things that we saw there in El Malpais, including the Visitor Center, where we saw that wonderful little film they have there in their nice little theater that included many quotes from N. Scott Momaday, including the one that we like so much.
We've adopted, for lack of a better way to describe it.
I am who I am because I have been there.
Mm. And there, it said. Been there and there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we should have done when we were out there, because I've been meaning to, we should have gone to Blue Water Lake, is out that direction.
Well, we're going to go back. We didn't go to El Morro either
yet.
Yeah, so we didn't go to the ice caves. We didn't go to the volcano. There's a lot of things we didn't do, but, you know, depends on the weather and the time of year. Now, something that they do in Grants every year that's kind of a big deal for them is they do this in February. It's the quadrathlon. And people start in the city of Grants. They bicycle. They bicycle for 13 miles to Mount Taylor.
Towards Mount Taylor.
Yeah. And then they run uphill for 5 miles. And then they ski, cross-country ski, for 3 miles,
Mhm.
and then they snowshoe for a mile to get to the top, and then they
Reverse.
reverse it all and come back down the mountain and back into Grants for a party, I guess.
So it's a total distance of 42 miles
Yeah.
on running, not on running, running on bicycles, on skis, and on snowshoes. And I don't know if you've ever, I used to be a big fan of snowshoeing, and I don't know if you've ever done snowshoeing. It is a strenuous exercise. I mean, it does save you from sinking into the snowpack, whatever the snowpack is, but it's strenuous, as is cross country
Probably
skiing.
a lot like running on the beach, only freezing cold.
Mhm. Yeah. So, can I share a map?
You share a map.
All right, let's share a map. So this is the area that we're talking about. It's an amazing geological. My first response was nightmare because it is a really interesting location. So first of all, the actual visitor center is closer to Gallup, and once
Gallup.
I'm sorry, Grants.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to say that. So the
And
visitor
Gallup's
center
continuing on that way.
right here, and you just come across from Grants actually. So we went to Grants, then we came back across here to go to the National Monument or to the Visitor Center, and then this is the National Monument right here, and that stuff, all of that right around this area, is a 5,000-year-old. Actually, it might be older than that, but at least 5,000-year-old lava flow, and it's called El Malpais National Monument. Malpais is a Spanish word for Badlands. And when you see the close-up of this, you can understand why they hated it so much. There is this area right in here. There's a couple of areas that have interesting stories associated with them. This is one which tends to clear through. This one right here. Nope, not this one. Sorry. This one right here. So there's an interesting treasure story associated with this. So there was a trail that got this far. And what happened is the Native Americans, having been here long before the Spanish arrived, found trails through this. So they're very winding and you could get lost. You know, all you had to see was the mountains in front of you, and you had to keep the mountains on either side depending on which direction you were going. But this area here had a water source in it. So it was very popular with the Spanish caravans. And there is a story about a Spanish caravan that was carrying silver. And they got to this point, and it was Spanish, and there were some Native Americans that sided with the Spanish at the time, and there were 42 mules carrying silver. And they were attacked by Native Americans with bow and arrow. They managed to hold them off for a night, but they felt like what they needed to do was hide the silver. So that the Native Americans couldn't get their hands on it. The Puebloans couldn't get their hands on it because they're either in this area, they're either from Acoma to the east or Zuni to the west. And both were warring tribes. I mean, they were at war with the Spanish. So they hid the silver. They tried to make a run for it the next day with their horses, mules, and everyone. They were all killed. So the silver has never been rediscovered. So it's somewhere in this area, possibly by the water hole itself, according to legend. Yeah. So we went to, as I said, we went first to the visitor center, which is right off the road. It's a very nice, you'll see, very modern, very contemporary visitor center. And then we headed down Route 17. I don't know if you can see it. You can actually see the road. Can you see the road there? There it is. So that's Route 17, and that goes south and then west towards
117.
No, I think it's 17.
Oh, 17.
I said 117 in the video, but it's really 17, and it passes this way. And as you go down this road on the western side, on the eastern side is Acoma Pueblo, and then on the eastern side is the El Malpais.
This is west. This is east.
Thank you. You're so good at this. I have trouble with my directions. You'd think I'd always be lost. So we had plans to not only visit the El Malpais, but there was a couple of other places that we wanted to get to, and that included this area here, known as the Sandstone Bluffs. And we did make it there. And the cool thing about it is you can see, as you stand up on the sandstone bluffs, Shelley kept getting very close to the edge. And I have memories of keeping my daughters away from the edge. I used to have this big fear of them falling. Shelley, I thought I wanted to drag Shelley back. I didn't, though, did I?
No, you just yelled at me.
I didn't yell.
Get away
you.
from the edge.
And so we did that. We got some pictures there. And we went back. And actually, one of the pictures that we took, let me say, I saw it the other night. One of the pictures that we took was, can you remember what they're called? The water hole.
Oh, it's a tinaja.
Dang nabbit, I actually saw it on here the other day.
We've got to be close to the parking area because we didn't walk that far.
Anyway, we went to visit the Sandstone Bluffs, got some pictures there that I will share with you. Then we drove back. This is, as you can see, this is about 1.5 miles dirt road off of 17. And then we continued to head south on 17. This area here is called the Narrows. The Little Narrows is first, and then the Narrows. And in the Narrows is, let me see if I can find it here, is La Ventana. And that's the window. That means it's Spanish for window, and it's the arch. And we stopped there and did some drone work. How come I keep going past this? Hang on. So there's the Joe Skeen campground. So we went through the Narrows and have I gone too far south? No.
I don't know. There's a parking lot there.
Yeah, we can't. That's what I mean. You should be able to see the parking lot.
So that's the wilderness. I didn't see a sign for La Ventana.
That's Cebolla Wilderness. There's the Narrows. Okay, so we still have a little bit way to go. There it is.
That's the parking area.
No, that's not the parking area. That's the place to the ranger station that was closed. So further south.
Driving.
Well, dadgummit. There's the El Malpais National Conference.
The Cebollita Peak.
Yeah, that's too far south. It's up here in this area.
I'm surprised it's not labeled.
You know what I can do? I can say...
Search.
Just give me a second.
La Ventana. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, and there's the parking lot. So this was the parking lot. We stopped there. We got some drone footage of La Ventana, and La Ventana is a natural arch that, let me see if you can, see if we can put the little guy here. Let's put him in the parking lot first. And we can spin him around.
Whee.
And the nice thing is when you're there, you're between the Narrows and La Ventana. That's the La Ventana there. We have some real good drone footage of there. So it was a really, really interesting trip. Now, one of the reasons that we want to go back eventually is that this is a kind of cool place. And you're going to see by the way Shelley is dressed that it was pretty cold and windy. And we've suffered through a lot of that this year just because it's the nature of that particular beast. But let me go back so it's facing north.
Because that's New Mexico.
Because that's New Mexico. But we do want to go back in the springtime because not only is this El Malpais here, and remember all of that black stuff is lava, but El Morro, which is another national monument, is, let's see if we can find it around here. There's... Yeah, I got to keep searching.
Fence Lake?
Yeah.
Fence Lake.
Let me just do it on here.
Black Rock, Standing Rock, Church Rock, Rock.
Where was that? Where did we? Was that this one?
That was that video. Yeah.
Yeah. So El Morro is where we want to go, but again, we want to go sometime in the spring or fall for a couple of reasons. Number one, that's where Inscription Rock is, where all the passersby dating back as far as the Native Americans and through Oñate, I think it was either Oñate or it was Oñate, that inscribed their names graffiti style on this bluff. And you can see right here, one of the reasons you want to go back is you want to go to this bluff is that there was a Native American Pueblo there, and it was called Atsina. And Atsina is the Puebloan phrase meaning the place where people wrote their names in the rocks.
Names.
And at one time, so this is what it looks like. This is the part that's been excavated. And at one time, it had 850 rooms and it supported nearly 4,000 people. But it's up on top of this bluff here that you walk up, you hike up to get to. And the day we were there, of course, the temperatures were in the 30s and the winds were in the teens. And so we're going to wait till spring to go back to that. The point that I wanted to make, and Shelley makes this point much better than I do, and that is this area around Grants has a lot going for it. And my only regret, is that the town is either boom or bust. It was boom during the coal mining areas and then the gold and silver mining eras, not areas, but eras. And then through the uranium mining eras. And then it goes backwards when people stop mining in the area. But it's a great place to visit. And the other one that's pretty neat that I've heard a lot about is Blue Water Lake State Park.
Looks green to me.
Well, it does, but that's what everything on Google Earth looks like that. So I want to go for a couple of reasons. Number one, Blue Water Lake is big enough. It allows power boats, so you can go on there. It does have campgrounds. It's a state park, so it has a lot of the state park facilities that we look forward to. But this area right here, see this little dry creek bed? Apparently you can do some gold panning along here because there is gold, placer gold that has come down from the mountain. So we do want to get there. It does have campgrounds and there are RV areas nearby, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just, it's just got a lot going for it. There's the state park. So,
shall we see the movie?
Yeah. Shall we watch the movie?
Yes.
Oh, no, I got pictures.
Oh, pictures.
Pictures. Let's do pictures.
Back to that. We saw that last week.
We did?
Yes.
Did we see this?
Yes.
Yes.
The mining museum. Yeah.
Okay.
There we are at that's the visitor center.
Visitor center. So we showed these last week, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
I bought one of those necklaces for my daughter. They're made from lava and semi-precious stones. I got her one that was these beautiful lava.
Look at that, created by Lindsay Wells.
Oh, that was their friend.
Oh, they knew her?
Yeah. When I gave it to her on when they were over for the holidays, they mentioned, like Sean said, "Oh, this looks like what Lindsay makes," and I should say that to her, so she'll be happy to know that. So the next time she's another, they both Jason and Sean know her. So this is the view from the bluffs. These views here, from the sandstone bluffs, and all of that is El Malpais, just black. And I did an overview of it in the drone. What's that called?
Tinaha.
Waterhole.
Tinaha.
There were people over on the far bluff taking pictures. So
it's in that magazine.
It was a good
one of those. Oh, well, that we got a couple of things on El Malpais. We're there. That's where I saw the thing about tinahas.
And in the visitor center, I bought Jason a book on tinsmithing because it had the names of my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather in them. What's that? Let me pull you.
This is the El Malpais National Monument, Western National Parks Association little booklet that Toby got at the visitor center. It's got pictures and tells you about El Malpais. Flowers and cactus, the birds.
They have lava tubes that have formed caves.
Turkey. That's a turkey.
And they've
Flying
been
turkey.
a flying turkey. Have you ever seen a turkey fly?
Look at that. Flying turkey. Do, do, do. Okay. And the La Ventana arch.
I also
and
bought one of those for El Morro.
lizards and whatnots. There's a snake.
There's one of the caves.
Caves. So they got the,
All the caves are closed for the winter.
the
Nice little map.
different flows, different namings of the different flows. Bats. Something going on there. And there, see, Tinaja. Tinaja sustained early travelers and support wildlife today. It's a Tinaja.
Tinaja. Where's the challenge coin that I got? I thought I brought it down.
Mimi. I don't know where you put it.
I'll go find it later. Okay, so let's go to. Actually, I don't have any problems here. Let's go to the video. Okay, here's the video that we produced from that trip. Now, remember, we did two different locations on that trip. One was the Grants Mining Museum, which we produced last week. This is El Malpais. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Popcorn out.
So we went through Grants again and crossed over I-40, and now we're coming up on the El Malpais Visitor Center. It's just literally on the other side if you took one exit rather than the other one.
Who's calling from Colombia?
It's not. That's a 575 number. That's Colombia. All right. Well, interrupted by a phone call, but we went back through Grants, crossed over I-40, and now we're at the El Malpais Visitor Center. And I saw this on their website, and it's a very nice visitor center. Very impressive. Lots of parking.
Parking lot closes at 5 p.m. No overnight parking.
Okay, we'll be out of here, but
I hope so. There must be a lot to see if you're going to stay till 5.
all right, let's go inside and take a look at it.
It's like a cop show. Opening to a cop show. And M. Dot.
All right, we're going to pass the visitor center here. So it's very
chips,
modern
it's not
and
chips.
very stylish with lots of parking.
And M. Dot.
Looks like it was,
It's like the lava rock is
yeah, they do have a lot of lava rock, don't they?
landscaping.
If we haven't said this before, El Malpais is Spanish for the Badlands.
You've only said it
100
One of
times.
the reasons.
Thanks.
Infamous rattlesnake.
Infamous.
They can say they've decorated in the xeriscape style.
Why'd you get echoey?
Lots of rocks. In this case, basaltic lava rocks.
That's right. They got plenty of it. Sir, when they cut the roads through, they had a lot of leftovers.
So here's the reminder that this site was once used by the Air Force as a targeting site. So that we might find, if we go in a rock out there, we might find some materials, and we're supposed to avoid them, which makes a lot of sense to me. You didn't have to tell me that. Let's check the outside.
Hold onto radioactive materials.
Nice set of picnic tables. with a beautiful
It'd be
view.
nice when it's warm out.
Yeah, I'm sure again we're stuck with winter here, so we don't have any color, not even green.
Golden yellow and gray. Lovely vista.
That
It is a
iPhone
beautiful
14
view,
is
isn't
just amazing.
You can hear the traffic from the highway, the freeway.
Let's go inside.
Shortcut. They have an app, National Park Service app.
I should download that. We've
Yeah,
been
you
to
should
enough of them, you know.
National Park Service app. We're gonna write that down.
Restrooms,
Restrooms and water and water bottle fill up.
automatic door.
Bring it in and you can put it on the table. I don't know that yeah, just bring it in.
Okay, the thing is, I'll get the bigger size.
Oh, I forgot my card.
Which card?
The Western Parks.
Well,
Partners.
go back out and get it.
All right, let's do this
I
first.
don't know why you took it out of your pocket anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
It's a regular large, but
Nice gift shop.
They always have these. We should get our walking sticks and get these, start pounding these into our walking sticks.
What are they?
You put them into your walking stick like this.
Oh, that's cool. I don't have a wooden walking stick though. It's a problem.
We actually do have a couple of them. that
Oh, we do?
got from the place where the petroglyphs place. Ooh, these are fancy cups. Like that. Cheers.
All right, I'll look at that in just a second once we give you the little tour here.
Prickly pear gummy bears. Yum.
So we'll give you the walkthrough first, and then we'll come back and take a look at stuff. I've got to go get my discount
I'll
card.
tell you what, you can get me when you see it. Ooh, cool coffee cups like those. Which one do I like?
As usual, a
this
great
one's got
collection
the
of
number on it.
books.
Look at that.
Oh, something on the floor here.
It's a regular cup, huh? We're both talking at the same time.
We've seen some of them before.
Ancestral members mugs. Those are cool. Members mug.
It's for all our junior rangers.
Continental Divide Trail. Cool. What are these? Pins.
Got a theater.
What is this? This is a walking stick one. And then what's this? Like a metal plate that you put on what?
Oh, the volcano
Oh, it's a
types.
trail marker. Trail marker.
What trail marker? What does that mean?
I don't know. It was like just a piece of plastic and it said
Great
it was a trail
exhibits.
marker. So I guess you could nail it up on a stick or to a tree or
Looking down by the
know.
seasons.
National
Just stick
Park.
my head in there because it's blocked off.
Cool. I'm still in the
Oh,
shop
so
and you're in the
these,
museum part.
Is they've
It was a great museum.
broken down various tours that you can take.
Magnets.
Oh, what a good idea.
They should
there's a
turn
book
that
for
into a
that.
book. Yeah.
El Morro National Monument. El
So these are all,
Malpais.
this is a new exhibit.
What is this? Oh, it's a magnet. Looks like a challenge coin, but it's a magnet. That's cool.
You know, we were at Petros
Shopping with Shelley.
National Historic Site, and they were doing the same thing. They were redoing their museum as well.
Water bottles. Those are hefty water bottles there. Cool stuff. See, there's those walking sticks. We have walking sticks like this somewhere. We've put away. Oh, look.
Storage.
Tin ornaments. From guess who? Jason. Jason uses tools handed down from his great-great-grandfather to continue the Delgado family tin tradition. Isn't that nice?
It's Toby running out to get his discount card.
Beer.
Beagle?
Fuzzy beer.
Not that we have any brown bears in New Mexico.
I don't know where Toby went. Oh, there he is, across the room. Got some Jason Eunice work there.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Where?
Ornaments.
Well, you know who he does business with? He does business with that Western.
National parks.
Well, no, he does business with the Western because that thing that I signed up for. Oh, yeah.
That was almost a complete sentence.
Little story on there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Did you see any challenge coins?
I saw a magnet that looks a
Could
lot
pass
like
for?
one. Looks a lot like a magnet.
Well, that's what I've had to do in the past.
So I will show it to you, and you can decide if it's something you want.
All right. I have a question for this lady. Let me turn this off. New Mexico tin work. Guess we have to see if the Delgados are listed, huh? I should probably get this book for Jason. Delgado Felipe. Delgado Francisco. Delgado Ildeberto. That's my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and my great-great-grandfather. I guess I'm going to have to get that book. So those are a couple of the books that we're using to get us around. It's funny how I can eventually find a book that informs me, you know. Shelley showed me that they have some of Jason's work here. They have some of his tin ornaments. Oh, there are the walking sticks. He says we have some from someplace.
It's fun being apart
Find
because
her.
you do.
So I already talked about that, but you didn't know.
Theater.
Theater.
So they do have a
What's that? Theater.
movie. Come here, I have something in the light. So I didn't, you know, when I was shooting with the phone, I didn't have my microphone on, so the microphones are on right now. I wanted to show you these guidebooks for El Morro and El Malpais. And New Mexico tin mark. And in the index, they've mentioned my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and my great-great.
But not Jason.
But not Jason, yeah. Or my mother, because
or
it's
your
up to the
mother.
1940s.
Oh, I see. Well, we just finished at the Visitor Center for El Malpais. It was very nice facility, nice gift shop. You get to watch a film in there. It's a really well-made film. about the area and the history of the area, including films that were made here in the early 1900s. Very cool.
They mentioned a lot of westerns that have been shot in this area, and we know because whenever we see a contemporary western, film recently, you can actually tell what part of New Mexico it was shot in. So, and I think that's for two reasons. One, it's great landscape, and two, we have a very active film community and union. Thank you. What would I do without her to fill in my words? Yeah.
Now where are we going?
So we are headed back onto I-40, returning east towards Albuquerque. We're going to go about 4 miles, and we're going to exit onto New Mexico State Road 17, which takes us to El Malpais, but it's the conservation area rather than the national park. And the reason I want to go to the conservation area is because it's run by the Bureau of Land Management, and that means I can do some drone work there, while if I go to the national park, I can't. In addition to that, there are a couple of additional sites. I used addition and additional twice. In addition, there are a couple of sites, including La Ventana, which is a sandstone arch, and a short hike to Lava Falls, which I'd like to take if we can. So it's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We have good light until 5 today. And so we'll do the best that we can at getting some footage from each of these locations. I'd like to do the time lapse around La Ventana. It's turned out to be a cloudy day, but unfortunately they're not those billowy moving through the sky clouds that make for great time lapses. But we'll do what we can, and hopefully I'll get a chance to do some drone work as well. Okay? Anything else?
Nope. See you there.
All right.
I've passed by Grants many times on the way to driving to Arizona, but we've never taken the time to stop and check it out, see what's here. Seen the signs for the ice caves, but that's all we knew about it.
Holy moly.
Holy moly what?
You'll see in just a
What, aliens landing? Oh.
La Ventana is 17 miles. You might want to go that far?
Why not?
Okay. Okay, so I don't know what that was. There was a couple of, were they police officers or rangers?
I don't know.
They went by pretty quick.
Yes, in a hurry.
Don't know what that's about. We thought we'd pull over and get out of the way.
Yeah, seemed like the good idea. Everybody else did that too. They followed your lead.
Yeah, this guy in the horse trailer didn't hear anything.
There was a pullout right there.
Yeah, but
Who knew? Quite the hurry that day. All right.
So we are on Route 17, and we have been passed by several emergency vehicles.
That are now
Some of whom
congregating
are
right ahead of us.
catching up. I don't know if we can go by them. I suppose they'll let us know. Don't know what happened.
We'll see, there's a horse trailer in front of us. We'll see if they let him through.
Looks like they are waving him through.
I don't see anything happening. Do you see an accident or something?
Oh, there's a turned over vehicle on the other side of the road.
Oh. Wow.
Let's see what kind of signal they give us here.
Oh,
They're
we'll
waving
get
us through.
Get on out through here and
What kind of
keep
vehicles
going.
are they? What fire and rescue?
They're trucks.
I wanted to know what agency they were.
Well, you didn't say that. You said
I
what kind
know.
of vehicles are they?
Yep. So it looks like a small car went off the road. Close the window here.
Flipped upside down.
And it was laying on its top on the other side. And this looks to me like the Sandstone Bluffs Road, maybe?
Ranger station, 1 mile. Visitor information.
All right. We're going to stop at the ranger
I'm
station.
not sure if they're open today, though.
What did the book say?
I think I think that's the one that said it was open Thursday through Monday. So I think they're closed on Tuesday and Wednesday. And today's Tuesday, so it may not be open. We'll check.
We may want to put up our GPS again.
Yep. Where's it at?
Doesn't it? I think I need a better.
I didn't fix it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. So we are on a dirt road that was a right turn off of 117.
It's not.
And it says
Just past the turned over car.
right, yeah. And it says it's 1.5 miles to the Sandstone Bluffs overlook. So it is a groomed dirt road. I'm still in 2-wheel drive, so it's not like you need 4-wheel drive to get up here. And it doesn't require you be way high off the ground. It is a little bumpy, but just, a dirt road. Nothing that's going to throw you for a loop. Okay. All right, so we are at the Sandstone Bluffs overlook, and there are a couple of pathways, one through here that leads up to a sign, which is where I think the overlook is.
I can't believe how stable that chest cam is. I mean, it's better than a gimbal.
Why don't you read that for us?
Let's see. Take a closer look. The view from here tells so many stories. The Zuni Mountains in front of you are the western edge of these lava flows. Between you and the mountains, molten lava flowed north to your right after it was ejected from over 200 volcanic vents in the area. These volcanic vents created shield volcanoes and cinder cones like El Calderón. El Malpais National Monument preserves and protects for the American people a rich volcanic landscape, ripe with unique cultural history and opportunities for inspiration, solitude, personal challenges, and discovery. What will you uncover about yourself and our nation's past when you take a closer look at this public land?
It is an amazing view. There are some people up on the Sandstone Bluff up there. And that's the kind of walk an old guy wearing trifocals wouldn't be wise in taking, but it is a beautiful view.
And tennis shoes that might slip.
You can start seeing the, I'm going to get some pictures, okay? So my camera's going to get in the way here because I want some pictures of the lava flows. And you could see Mount Taylor from where we were by the car, so I'll make sure that we get a picture of that as well. So I have this camera. This is an iPhone 14 here, and let's shoot some video first. Oh, don't get close to that edge for me.
I'm not that close,
All right.
but you could see a lot of rocks and scree. It was like a good 5 feet from the edge.
It's just my daughter's thing. It's a memory thing.
from when they got close to the edge too?
Mm-hmm.
Did it scare you?
Yeah. My daughters always will go over to the edge, see what's on the other side. You know?
Well, I wasn't that close. I was a good foot away from the edge. But it is pretty windy, so I didn't stay too long. I didn't want the wind to push me over.
I think I'll get a couple of shots here. Got a little bit of sunlight.
There's my best shot over there.
This one right here.
Oh, you kind of can see that dead tree thing.
That's in our collection.
Oh, well, let's go wide angle then. How's that?
Panorama. Certainly the place for a panoramic view.
What kinds of blues? It's interesting. The blue behind us is different than the blue
Than
in
the
front
blue
of
in
us.
front of us, yeah. New Mexico does have a lot more blue than people would expect.
Did you see any wildlife?
Trying to think. I don't think we saw any birds. We heard birds.
There's people on those
That's
bluffs
about
over
it.
there.
Yeah.
I think everything was trying to stay warm. You can hear the little tinny tapping, pressing of the button there.
Should be on that side of the rocks anyway. There was another view over here. Let's go see what's there. Is your camera still on?
Yep.
What was the whistling for?
Who knows?
Whistling past the graveyard.
Oh, so the munition safety in case we trip over any bombs.
Oh, and I said the word out loud so I wouldn't forget it, but then they called it a pothole and I forgot what it was called.
Oh,
Teletubbies.
Tilapia, something like that.
Tilapia.
That one's got ice on
Tinaja.
the top.
You'll see this photo on the top of all of our
well, for any traveler that was
Websites.
coming this way,
social media sites now.
this would have been an important stop. Because they would have collected water here.
Rain, I guess it's rainwater, snow water.
All of the above. Any place that's going to produce water. I mean, not that it was the most sanitary any way you look at it, but
Well, that's why they added a little wine to the water to kill the buggies. There you can kind of see the trees over there now. You can kind of see the trees over there now better.
oh yeah.
No, I'm not bow-legged.
Junipers.
About stepped in the water.
All right, let's keep going. It's going to get colder and windier here as we go.
Tinaja.
Tinaja.
Well, we just did the sandstone bluff overlook and saw what was out there. Lots of landscape.
Lots of landscape, and the first indicate. Well, no, we've had indications of lava flow ever since we went through Acoma. But it's a valley filled with lava. I mean, it's just amazing in the context of where we are. I wonder if we should stop here and get a shot. Is that a good shot at all? Good photography. You might be able to see it in the front camera, although it's on super wide angle, but that mountain that is off in the distance is Mount Taylor. It is not the tallest mountain in New Mexico, and it was an active volcano several 100 million years ago. It blew its stack over a 4-year period from, 114 million years to 110 million years ago.
I meant
And that's
4
where some of
million
this
year
lava flow
period.
has come from. So when they talk about it, and it has exploded a couple of times since then, more than a couple of times since then. I think the last time was 5,000 years ago. So it's not recent, but
Except in volcanic terms.
yeah.
Now we're gonna go see what?
We're going to head for, so I need to know from your map when we're past the tribal land, because I don't want to be launching a drone over tribal land. And then we want to go to La Ventana. And that's on the national park side. So as we're going through this, dust. As we're going through this, the right-hand side is national park. The left-hand side is tribal land until we're past the tribal land, and then it's BLM.
Where are we
So
going?
We're headed down
To La Ventana.
La Ventana there.
Okay.
But
Are we
Once-
here right now?
see that
Coming back
coloration
out
here? Those coloration?
Yeah.
That's tribal land. Outside of that is BLM land.
Okay.
So I want to make sure when we get to a location,
Well,
if
then
I
you
do-
just launch it on that side of the road.
no, that's National Park Service.
Oh, well, the BLM is up here.
Right. The yellow here, this light yellow, all of
Fighting over maps.
that's BLM land.
Oh, well. What's the difference between BLM and
National Park.
no Indian land? Where does?
The tribal land is the dark yellow edge.
Oh,
So
Okay.
that area there is tribal.
okay.
It's the only place there's a dark yellow edge, and it's not contiguous.
Well, there's a picnic area that says BLM right after it.
Right.
Oh, but that's after La Ventana.
Yeah. Well, I know that once I get to La Ventana, I am
In the BLM.
in the BLM land.
Yes.
Right. And that means I can launch a drone.
CC, senor.
And hopefully there is as much lava on that side of the road,
Well,
on the
yeah,
left-hand side of the road, as there is on the right.
It's not the main flow, but you can see it. I'm sure you'll see it. It's just on the other side of the road.
Well, maybe if the drone skips over. What I would like to do at La Ventana, since we're going to lose our sun here.
So you can't take off and land in the national park, but you can fly over it, right?
Technically, yes, but every one of them has their own little.
Well, they're kind of busy today with a turned over car.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
You know.
Nobody's going to notice.
It's good.
Yeah.
So Toby's getting the drone out of the back, and he's going to fly around and get some shots, aerial shots. And this is the La Ventana spot where people get out and look at La Ventana. Boop. Right there. And here he is. And there he goes. And so basically La Ventana is like a window, but it kind of looks like just a big gaping arch in the rock. You know, if you simplify it. But it's pretty cool, and he's going to have to hurry up if he wants to get the shot before the sun goes behind the bluffs there.
You're still talking?
Yeah, I just finished.
All right. So put that on your handle. And all right. I'm not going to talk. You talk.
So what kind of drone is that?
So it's a Mavic
I'm not
Air
gonna talk.
DJI Mavic Air 2. It's getting kind of long in the tooth. It has about, 2,400 hours on it now.
All I have to do to get you to talk
But
is
still,
one
that's the
simple
question.
question. You'll talk for an hour.
Real easy to fly.
A little
This is
breezy,
the-
that's not going to bother it.
No, we're way under the minimums. It wouldn't let me fly if I was doing it was 20 knots. It's nowhere near that. So, and this is the DJI Smart Controller. It means I don't have to connect a phone or anything.
Better hurry before the sun goes over the bluffs, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to do. I need a little bit of sunlight. It would help. So it says we can fly. Let's see if it talks to the drone. Come on, baby. Got a network connection.
Is it
It's the
wing
Siri
in
inside the
way?
controller.
Roadrunner on
Those
your
are the rotor blades, and no, they spring open as you start the motor up.
Somebody's going to run over your drone in here.
You're turning into a roadrunner.
Ooh, we better take off real quick here.
You did take off, didn't you? My drone!
People bringing their house with them.
They're going the other way. All right, the drone's off, and we're going to start getting some altitude. I'm going to take it up to around 250 feet. 100.
Did you turn
150.
the camera on this time?
The camera is on. Thank you for reminding me. That's 200. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to port until we see the La Ventana in our shot. We'll just turn that around, and there we are. I'm going to put it in the center there, and then we're going to move forward to go towards that track. There it is, La Ventana. One of New Mexico's few arches. I think it is the second largest arch in New Mexico. I'm going to pan to the left a little bit so you can see the rock formations that are there. And then back to the right to see the rock formations that are there. And they're pretty consistent along this set of bluffs right here. Now it's turning slower to the left, I'm sorry, to the right than it did to the left, because that's the direction the wind is heading. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spin all the way around. I'm going to get some more altitude first. I'm going to go up to around 300 feet, and I'm going to spin around, and we're going to take a look at El Malpais. Now, right now, I'm on BLM land, but you'll see a road here. That road, that's the road heading south and eventually west towards Quemado. And then I'm going to show you the road heading north. That's where we came from. That takes us back to I-40. But all that black stuff there, that's El Malpais. That's all the lava flow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly over towards the road, because while I'm on this side of the road, I'm actually on BLM land. You'll see the parking lot there. If I cross that road, I'm in National Park Service land. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point the camera straight down, and I'm just going to head towards that road until it's actually in my camera. And that way we know we haven't crossed into National Park Service land. There's the parking lot we're at. And there's the road. Okay, so let me turn back towards El Mal, right there. I'm going to raise the camera. The wind's kicking up on us a little bit, so it might get a bumpy here. Right. Okay, so that stretch right there is all lava flow. All of it, lava flow, for tens of miles north and south along this valley. And
Yards.
the Spanish used to ride around it until they found the trails that the Indians were using through it, because the ancient Puebloans that came through here eventually found trails going through it that they could get through, very narrow
stable
trails. As a
that
matter of fact, there's one called the Narrows, and it's a road that goes through it.
We're
All
on
right,
it.
I just got a strong wind warning, so I'm going to bring her home here. And the what she will do is she will
She being the person inside.
return to her
Pilot,
takeoff
the
spot,
little tiny pilot.
and she's doing that right now. Let me turn the camera down just a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. Eventually, that's our little black truck there, almost in the center, and it's flying towards the black truck. It'll turn around, and it always wants to lift the camera up once it gets close to landing, but you'll see most of it. You can see Shelley and I standing next to the truck. What I got to be careful of is that it's not landing as one of these vehicles are coming by. Now, if I want, I can cancel the landing if I feel like it's off its landing point and I don't like the direction it's heading. I can cancel the landing and just handle it myself. But hey, it's a feature, and I like the feature, and it hasn't failed me in 2,400 hours of flying.
Well, it's the end of the day. The sun's going down. We've seen all we have time to see on a winter's day.
On a winter's day.
So, La Ventana. We saw the Zuni Trail. We saw
El Malpais.
the Visitor Center and the Mining Museum. Quite a bit to get done in one day.
So the ranger station is only open Thursdays through Sundays? Mondays.
It's closed on Tuesday.
So it's
and
closed. That's closed on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's why you didn't get to it. But the visitor center is 7 days a week, except for holidays. I think it was Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So we're headed home, as Shelley said. We had a
to
good
repeat it
trip.
just in
We
case.
did see everything that I wanted to see. We got some drone footage. We didn't get a time lapse, but it wouldn't have been a great time lapse just because of the cloudies. It was predicted to be partly sunny, and it was nowhere near that. It was pretty cloudy. But I think it was a good trip for us, and we can only hope that when seasons get warmer, I don't mind coming back to these places. And El Morro is not far from here, and I do definitely want to get to El Morro, but I don't want to go until spring, maybe summer, simply because there's a mile-long hike up to the top of the bluff where there's an ancient pueblo up there that I really want to see. And this is just not the weather for that. So we're going to get home. I do want to point out that we lost cellular signal within 2 miles of being off I-40. So again, your GPS will help you keep your navigation. So anything else?
That's all we have for today. A winter's trip to Grants, New Mexico, and there's plenty to see.
There is plenty to see. Yeah.
There we go. Let's answer some questions.
All right, plenty to see, plenty of questions to answer.
So Mary asks, are there lava caves near the treasure tail? They call them lava tubes because they are formed by the interaction of gases and the lava flow, and a lot of them are populated by bats. But the lava tubes are closed during the winter months. And I don't know if there are lava tubes near where the treasure was. The way the tale is told was they just dug some holes behind some of the larger lava rocks, and there's a good example of one. So,
But they have ice caves there as well.
Yeah.
Now the ice caves and the Bandolero volcano site are private land. There's a entry fee to those. We didn't get over that way during this trip. It would be a really good place to go in the summertime because ice caves, right? You cool
it's
off
permanent.
they have these wooden steps built that you can go down to visit the ice cave and see it. We saw pictures of it, but so that would probably be a better thing to do in the summertime than the wintertime.
So Colorado says, did you see any wildlife? We didn't see any activity that I recall. We did see and hear birds, but nothing in the way of wildlife.
Yeah, we didn't see any, but the booklet says that there are big-eared bats, blind crickets, and black frogs. They show a lizard, a ground squirrel, and an elk.
That's an elk. Yeah.
So
you have
That's
to
what
recall, I don't know where you saw
might
that
have.
last little bit of footage that I shot about 20 feet above the lava flow. It is impossible. It's impassable. So there are smaller animals there because there is small life there, even after the lava flow, life finds a way. But you would, I don't know what kind of animal life it could support on the lava flow, but above the mountain, above on the eastern side, there are mountains and bluffs that would support larger animals such as deer and elk. Let's see what else we got. The Native American lived in that area. On the east side were the Acoma, on the west side were the Zuni, and they did trade with one another. So there are trails. They call it the Acoma. There, as a matter of fact, I went and explored it just to see how difficult a trail it was. And it's called the Acoma Zuni Trail. And it's a hiking trail now. It's 7 miles long. And it gets you from one end of the lava flow to the one side of the lava flow to the other. We stopped there for just a moment. I just wanted to see how it got through the lava flow, but it was more than 100 yards off.
there you can see the ice caves interior, and here's some petroglyphs on the walls in the area.
We did not cook out there every one of our trips since, when was the last time we did a cookout?
A cookout was it?
Bosque?
Yeah, Bosque de Apache.
Bosque del Apache, because it's just been too cold and windy to want to cook out. So we treated ourselves to, what did we treat ourselves? Snacks. Do we even eat that day? No.
I don't think we stopped and ate anywhere. No, we just
No,
had
we just said, wait, I
snacks.
carry a.
I had brought ham sandwiches,
that's
but
right.
you didn't eat one.
Right.
I
I did when I got home.
we had leftover ham from Christmas. I made sandwiches, but
So yeah, everything's just been too. I haven't even taken the cooking kit with us just because it's been so cold and windy. So we went to Ghost Ranch on
Saturday.
but the museums were closed, and that's kind of one of the points I wanted to go there. They have both a paleontology museum and an anthropology museum. The paleontology museum is very highly regarded, but they were closed. They actually what did they do to our reservations? They rebooked our reservations for Friday. So we're going back to Ghost
Rescheduled.
Ranch on Friday to go through the museums. We got a lot of other footage as well, a lot of drone stuff.
And we already visited the gift shops. So
Right.
we
don't have to do that again. The only thing that we have to do while we're
Except
there.
there has a really nice sweatshirt I might go back and get.
You want to get that sweatshirt? You should have said so.
Well, sometimes it's
Did
one of
you-
those
well, you
things.
got a
where it's like,
t-shirt though, didn't you?
I'd like that, but yeah, I did.
What was nice about it?
I got the
well,
one
we'll
with the
tell the
dinosaur
story.
on it.
Yeah. What's the name of the dinosaur?
Coelophysis.
Coelophysis. Very good. Well, New Mexico State dinosaur.
Coelophysis.
Coelophysis.
Looks like
Um,
a dinosaur that evolved into the Roadrunner.
The
so
Roadrunner. Yeah, it looks
had to have
exactly
it.
looks exactly like it. But this trip to Grants was a lot of fun between the Mining Museum and El Malpais. And we have El Morro, we have Blue Water State Lake that we want to get back to once the boating season opens up. So it's a good area, and it's not far from us. I mean, it's in comparison to some of the drives that we take
And it's
south.
a pretty drive once you get on I-40 and
Yeah.
start heading that way.
Yeah. There's a lot of that sandstone. There's a lot of the Western Seaway activity. You can see along the tops where you can see the white limestone. That was the bottom of the Western Seaway, Western
Inland Sea.
Inland Sea. This last Sunday, I took they wanted to go. My kids, my 2 New Mexico kids and my 4 New Mexico grandkids, we went to Bosque de la Pache. They wanted to see the birds. We did see, and there, of course, you see animal life. We saw white-tailed deer. We saw javelina. I'd never seen javelina in New Mexico before, but there was a little family of little black piggies there.
Oh, we have.
We
I
have?
know we have.
We haven't.
Not
I
in New
couldn't
Mexico?
remember. Not in New Mexico. We've seen them in Arizona. We've seen them in California, but
Maybe
I don't
it was
remember
on our
seeing.
Louisiana trip.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's when it
that's when
was.
it was.
Yeah.
It was
Um,
I think it was
in
Texas.
West Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I hadn't seen them in New Mexico. And then, of course, all the bird life, squirrels, muskrats, marmots. I mean, there's all kinds of life there. So it was a real good trip. We took a lot of pictures. The kids were having a great time. It was good to see my children out with their, your children kind of inherit your, I don't know whether hobbies or bad habits. And all of my children are photographers. They invest in good equipment, but they don't get to use it. They're so busy raising families. They only get, to take pictures of their families, usually with their smartphone. So it was great to see Jason and Sean out with their Nikons, kneeling down to get the shot and putting the tripod up to get the shot. It was exciting for me to see. So it was a lot of fun. That was not a New Mexico day trip that I had planned. Although I could have done that. It was just nice. I wanted to, spend time with family as opposed to focusing on all the stuff that we have to do to make one of these videos. So it was a lot of fun. Let's see. Mary Green said, dang, missed the vid. We'll have to catch the replay. Had to leave for a few minutes. Muffler fell down and dragging. Damn, Mary. The vid without
they need you in San Antonito.
So the video without the live stream will go live at 9:00. So just wait until then, and you can see the whole 40-minute video without having to go through the live stream again. So, all right, what's next?
Next week we'll be back to tell you all about the Ghost Ranch. That will most likely also be a 2-parter. We will focus the first week on the history of the Ghost Ranch and the work of the artist Georgia O'Keeffe, because she lived and worked there out of the Ghost Ranch, and that's one of the reasons it's famous. So, and then the second half will be about the 2 museums that are on the property. We did visit the library, but there wasn't a whole lot to see. There was books. And then we also went to the Georgia O'Keeffe Welcome Center, which was really cool. It was a very nice facility. We were surprised to see it there, kind of like in the middle of nowhere. And we walked right across the sidewalk over to the building next door, which is the Abiquiu Inn, and had dinner there. So that was a nice adventure for us.
You have to, Abiquiu was the place where my grandmother's family, the Espinosas, come from. And they had property up there. That's where I used to I didn't spend my summers there, but we'd go up to visit all the time, especially if they were having some sort of gathering, get together, wedding, whatever it was. And to me, it was just an old New Mexican town that was, barely had running vehicles. And now it's like, whoa, it's a destination between the,
it was busy. I was surprised how busy it was.
Really
traffic was. In just in the Ghost Ranch itself,
Yeah.
people were driving in and out, and golf
we were trying
carts
to take
and
pictures.
all kinds of people coming in and
Yeah.
out. And wow. And that was on a
Saturday
did-
in early January, and
So-
the museums weren't even open. So
No.
crazy busy.
We did kind of one of the things that we discovered, as Shelley said, was there are really 3 stories about Ghost Ranch. One is the Ghost Ranch history, which is really interesting. We'll talk about it next week.
Archuletas.
The Archuletas. And then the second is the relationship between Ghost Ranch and Georgia O'Keeffe. Because, part of Georgia O'Keeffe's reputation is based on the time she spent at Ghost Ranch. And it was a significant amount of time. She had her own house there. And then the third story is the 2.
She still has a house there, even though
Yeah.
she's not alive anymore.
Yeah, they've the foundation must have a big bankroll someplace because you could tell they still maintain the house. You can view the house, but it has to be by appointment.
And they have pictures up in the visitor center,
Right.
So you can see it.
And then the Welcome Center, in Abiquiu, like the Welcome Center was, I don't know, it was
Like a little museum. kind of.
$3 million
Just about
investment
her.
someplace. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the second story. And then the third storyline is the 2 museums, the Museum of Paleontology and the Museum of Anthropology. 2 different museums run by 2 different organizations, but both very competent in what they do. The paleontology covers the, prehistoric through the Triassic period, was it? 200 to 220 million years ago. And then the Anthropology Museum covers the peoples of the area. And I think it was the Gallinas, Puebloans, if they were Puebloans, the Gallinas people were in the area. And so we'll talk all about that. We have lots of pictures that we took last week.
We'll take
this
more
week.
on Friday.
And we're going to take some
Because
more
I
on
was
Friday.
like trying to put something together for it. And I'm like, I don't have enough pictures,
Yeah.
but you usually have all the
They're-
content. But I
they're-
think we still need to take more pictures.
Yeah, we do definitely need to take. It's very photogenic,
And we did
again,
get to do some drone work.
we did get to
Nearby.
right. We found a place nearby that was
So you could see the reservoir, the Abiquiu
the
Reservoir,
Abiquiu Reservoir.
and the Red Rocks.
Yeah.
So it's
So
very
it's
cool.
going to be. I think, like Shelley said, we're going to have to break it up into 2 shows because it's two different tables of content.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting trip for us, and it's not far. It's up north, and it's an area that's familiar to me, but from having grown up in Santa Fe, gone through Espanola and up to the Chama River. It's right near the Chama River, which is a beautiful fishing area. Spend a lot
There
of
with
time
the
on.
Chimney
So,
Rocks.
so there's supposed to be some gold prospecting area up there.
Mm.
We might, if we get some time, we might go up and just grab a bucket of dirt and bring it back with us, process it here.
Yeah, and then we get caught. And we get
No, it's not. It would be on
Put that
public
dirt
land. It's on BLM land.
cowboy.
There is some tribal land up there. I'm gonna go get. I let my Gaia GPS subscription expire. I'm gonna have to get it again because we're getting into, like, I don't want to be messing with tribal land.
Gaia or
And up
Garmin?
there, pardon.
Garmin.
Well, so Gaia, it's Garmin is that, but Garmin doesn't give you the land layouts. The reason you buy Gaia, you pay the $47 annual subscription, is because it shows everything. It shows private land, tribal land, BLM, every it shows all the land ownership rights. So that's why you carry that one with you.
So tune in next week for that. And we appreciate all of the new subscribers. We hope that you share our channel with your family and friends. Let them know, hey, if you want to learn more about New Mexico, go over to New Mexico Day Trips channel, subscribe, and check it out. And we appreciate you doing that for us. And as soon as we get to 100, we're going to have some kind of a giveaway. I don't know. Oh, no.
She said she had
Hit a possum.
a friend of hers. I thought it was her. Hit a possum and it thumped underneath all the way back.
Poor
I got to tell you a possum story. One time we were downtown DC and I went out drinking with some of my buddies, some of my
drinking story.
intelligent community buddies. Anyway, I was getting home late as usual. And there was a road, the road that we lived off of was County Line Road in Fairfax. And I was getting back and all of a sudden up ahead, and by this time I shouldn't have been driving, but there was a possum up ahead that had been hit, but only kind of damaged on the bottom. And he was kind of in the middle of the road and he was just swaying back and forth.
Oh, no.
And I thought, in my state of drunken stupor, I wasn't that bad, but I stopped and I thought maybe I could help this poor possum. And I went to kind of like this, and this is really stupid. I mean, a possum is not exactly the friendliest animal on the planet. And I went to reach out for him, and he gave me one of those like that. So I jumped back, got in my car, drove him. But at some point, I was so drunk that I felt sorrowful for the. I was thinking to myself, "Oh my God, he's not going to be able to go home, and he's got his kids waiting for him." And I made a story, and by the time I got home, I was in tears over this damned possum. And I got in, and of course, trying to be quiet. You know, when you're trying to be quiet, it's not even quiet. I had to get out of my suit, and by that time, I woke up my wife. And she said, "What is the matter with you?" And I said, "Well, I'm drunk. I'm a little bit tipsy, sweetie. You know, just let me go to bed." And she says, "Why are you crying?" And I started telling the possum story. And she rolled over in a bed and she went, "Oh, for God's sake!" Like that was the last word.
And then she divorced him.
And then and then 3 years later, she divorced me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my possum story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh no.
All right, Miss Shelley, let's wrap it up here. I'm turning off my banners.
Okay. Thanks for being with us tonight. We hope you have a great week. Get out and get out into nature if you can, and just enjoy the solitude, the serenity, and the good vibes.
It always is good vibes. We drive home, and it's quiet. Part of the trip is quiet for us, and I think we're kind of lost in the thoughts of the day as we're driving back, and then we start telling each other about what we liked about where we were. We haven't had a bad trip. Yes, it's been windy. Yes, it's been cold, but there's always something about each one of these trips that stays with you, comes back with you, you know, part of the story that comes back with you. And then you can share it with other people. You know, you can share your stories with other people of these travels. And I think that's part of what we enjoy, is telling you guys about where we've been and what we've done. And we'd love to hear from anybody else that's been to these areas, would like to go. If there's any place in New Mexico that you have an interest in seeing, just send an email, send an email at nmdaytrips.com and tell us what you'd like to see, and we'll put it on our itinerary. The winter months are tough because A, it's cold and windy, and B, it's just not as pretty. We're looking forward to the spring, and we're not far off. Things start coming back in March and April, so we're not far from that right now. I am celebrating a birthday next week, and on Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, yes, the 17th.
So I got some champagne, and I'm going to get a German chocolate cake.
Nice.
We'll have at least one slice of German chocolate.
Might just get the little baby
baby ones, yeah. So I'll be 74. So I don't know how many more years I can do this, because
So
you
we're
can
gonna
see
make the most of it.
you can already
while we
see
can.
that my legs are getting progressively more bowed. It's funny, you don't see yourself because nobody shoots me, right? You're the only person that makes video of Toby Eunice.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of video of Toby Eunice around, but when I turn around, I start walking away, I'm going like, oh. And I'm always teasing Jason about his legs. And Toby took a picture of Ramses, or a video of Ramses walking the other day.
You mean
I'm sorry,
Ragnar.
Ragnar walking the other day. And she goes, "Oh, Dad, you got your bow legs." Like, damn it.
He's just a little baby.
He's just a baby. Of course he has bow legs. Bow leg. All right.
And remember, we are who we are because we've been there.
And we have. Good night, you guys. We love you.